call the meeting of the Austintown Township Trustees for May 13th to order. Would you please stand for the pledge? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Davis? Here. Mr. Carano?
Here.
Mr. McGlynn?
I told them to spend more than $15. May I have a motion, please, to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of April 29th?
Second.
Mr. Carano?
Yes.
Mr. McGlynn?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
It's my pleasure to introduce Officer Jason Merza with our newest member of the police department. And we're very proud of him as soon as he gets it. Here comes Gunny. I still can't figure out how we're going to give him the swearing in. Does he hold his applause?
We went that way for this back up.
Okay. Oh, you did the cards. I followed the agenda. Oh, I see. Reintroduction. Okay, let's do it. Okay, may I introduce you on my far right, Director of our Senior Center, Mr. Jim Henshaw, our Park Superintendent, Todd Schaefer, our Fire Chief, Andy Frost, our Police Chief, Bob Gavalier, our Zoning Inspector, Darren Gravelli, our Township Administrator and Road Superintendent, it's Mike Dockey. To my right is Trustee Jim Davis. To my left is Trustee Doug McGlynn. To my far left is Fiscal Officer Mrs. Lori Wolf. And I'm Trustee Ted Carano. And here's Gunny. Chief, you have something?
There's a lot of people in the way, you know.
6 or 7 weeks, he totally explained to you what the dog does and the training that he went through.
Please.
We did a 6-week training course at Shallow Creek Kennels. K9 Gunny hails from Holland, the Netherlands. He'll be 2 in June. He's what's called a dual-purpose K9. The first part of the duel is his patrol work, which is tracking, area searches, building searches, article searches, and obedience. The second part of it would be his specialty is narcotics. So he's trained to indicate to the odors of marijuana, cocaine, heroin, meth, and bulk amount pills that may have a derivative of one of those 4 in it. So
Now he becomes your buddy for a long time.
yes, let's hope. Let's hope. We're still.
Wait a minute, check this out.
All his commands are in Dutch because he came from Holland. So depending on where the dog comes from depends on which language he uses. So if we import dogs from Germany, we'll just stick with that language, or Czechoslovakia, Slovakia. We'll keep him from those. But he hails from Holland, so he's Dutch.
So you have to know Dutch, then you have to speak Dutch.
Not fluent. Thank goodness.
Enough to do
Awesome.
commands.
Well, gentlemen, why don't we have a motion to induct Gunny into the Austintown Police Department?
I'll make a motion to accept K9 Gunny as our new K9 officer. I'll second it.
Mr. McGlynn?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Carano?
Absolutely, yes.
How's he doing so far?
So far, so good. We've got some stuff off the street within just a couple weeks.
We expect you back in 2 months with a little more Dutch, okay? To speak to us in Dutch.
Okay.
Thank you.
Chairman, I just want to, now's the time to bring it up, I just want to thank the senior center. We just received money from them tonight, $289 they collected from the senior center for, toward the dog. And also the Mahoning Valley Shenango Kennel Club, which Jim belongs to, also donated money to, for the dog. I want to thank both the organizations.
Very good, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
It's always a pleasure before our regular meeting to have a ceremony like we are going to have now. And that's, as we move on, one person leaves and everyone moves up. And it's going to be, it's our pleasure to bring before you Ron Oyster, Tom Metzinger, Fred Markham, and Dave Schertzer, and they are all going to be honored tonight. But we'll start with our fire chief, Andy Frost.
So all this is because Bob Williams, Bob, where you at? I'm right here. Round of applause, Bob. How many years, Bob? 41. 41. Retired at the end of April, so what that does is that boosts everybody up a position. So tonight is the fruits of all of that. So it takes 3 or 4 folks to replace Bob, so that's the way it is. Everybody you're going to see tonight has gone through the testing process. They've done very well on testing, and that's why they're being moved up. So there's quite a long process. A lot of points are added, 2 different scores, and we come up with a list. And this is the results of that list right now. So, Ron, come on up. Lori. Ron's our first one. Ron is a part-time firefighter with us and is now being put on as a full-time firefighter. He's been with us for 3 or 4 years. Going on 4 years. He does a fantastic job for us. Again, natural progression to come up. So he'll be on the ambulance. He'll start on the ambulance and then move into the fire end of it. So Ron is the new firefighter, and Lori will give the oath.
I, Ronald Oyster,
I, Ronald Oyster,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and will faithfully discharge the duties
and will faithfully discharge the duties
of full-time firefighter
of full-time firefighter
of the Austintown Township Fire Department.
of the Austintown Township Fire Department.
I further resolve
I further resolve
that I will serve the residents of Austintown
that I will serve the residents of Austintown
with compassion, courage, and integrity,
with compassion, courage, and integrity,
and will continue to do so
and will continue to do so
during my continuance as a firefighter
during my
continuance as a firefighter
during my continuance as a firefighter
with the Austintown Township Fire
in
Department.
the Austintown Township Fire Department. Thank you.
Okay, so again, Ron's going to start immediately. We're thrilled to have him. He's a hard worker. He's in the paramedic program, which showed that he wanted to progress in this field, and he's done everything that he should do to get up and move into a full-time spot. So very proud of Ron. He's well deserving of it, and I'm sure he's going to be around for a long time, and he'll be a fantastic firefighter. So, congratulations.
Thank you.
Is
You
there
want to
anyone
introduce
here?
your family?
Yes, I have my beautiful wife, Stephanie. You would rise, please. my oldest son, Nick, the middle child, Caden. Yeah. We're donating the hair. And then my youngest son, Carter.
As I'm sure everybody in this room knows, without the families, none of these guys and women can do what they do. So to all the families here, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Because without your support and knowing that we're leaving on Christmas Day and we're leaving at birthday parties, none of this happens without you. So truly thank you to all the families. We could have Dave, Fred, and Tom come on up. So we're going to give the oaths. Actually, we'll just start off with that. So Dave Schertzer as Assistant Fire Chief first.
I, David Schertzer,
I, David Schertzer,
do solemnly swear and affirm
do solemnly swear and affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and will faithfully discharge the duties
and will faithfully discharge the duties
of Assistant Fire Chief of the Austintown Township Fire Department.
of the Assistant Fire Chief of the Austintown Township Fire Department.
I further resolve
I further resolve
that I will serve the residents of Austintown
that I will serve the residents of Austintown
with compassion, courage, and integrity,
with compassion, courage, and integrity,
and will continue to do so
and will continue to do so
during my continuance as Assistant Fire Chief
during my continuance of Assistant Fire Chief
with the Austintown Fire Department.
with the Austintown Fire Department.
All right. Fred Markham is moving to captain, so the oath will be given.
I, Fred Markham,
I, Fred Markham,
do solemnly swear and affirm
do solemnly swear and affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and will faithfully discharge the duties
and will faithfully discharge the duties
of Captain of the Austintown Fire Department.
of Captain of the Austintown Fire Department.
I further resolve
I further resolve
that I will serve the residents of Austintown
that I will serve the residents of Austintown
with compassion, courage, and integrity,
with compassion, courage, and integrity,
and will continue to do so
and will continue to do so
during my continuance as captain
during my continuance as captain
with the Austintown Fire Department.
with the Austintown Fire Department.
Tom Metzinger will be sworn in to lieutenant.
I, Thomas Metzinger,
I, Thomas Metzinger,
do solemnly swear and affirm
do solemnly swear and affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and will faithfully discharge the duties
and will faithfully discharge the duties
of Lieutenant of the Austintown Fire Department.
of Lieutenant of the Austintown Fire Department.
I further resolve
I further resolve
that I will serve the residents of Austintown
that I will serve the residents of Austintown
with compassion, courage, and integrity,
with compassion, courage, and integrity,
and will continue to do so
and will continue to do so
during my continuance as a lieutenant
during my continuance as a lieutenant
with the Austintown Fire
with
Department.
the Austintown Fire Department.
Well, that wasn't fair to you. They have to listen to this 3 times.
I gave them all copies before they
It was actually
come on back up.
part of the walk in, and I saw him, and it said,
So these are always great times for us because Bob's leaving. He's a wealth of information, and we certainly are sorry to see Bob go. But it's exciting when we get to bring the younger firefighters and officers up. It's always a progression that we love to see, and this group is just incredible. This will be, when I'm gone, this will be the leadership of our fire department, and the fire department's in great hands. So my father's over there. He retired and left it to us, and we've, I think, done a pretty decent job, and I'm going to be thrilled to leave it to these guys because they're going to do an incredible job as well. So I couldn't be more proud of these guys. So what we're going to do now is the families with the badges come on up. It's called a badging ceremony, and what happens is they pin the new badge. It's all family members, so when I tell you, go ahead and pin the badges on. And it's a rite of passage for promotions. Go ahead and pin them on.
Each stay there 1 second while they take pictures.
Sherry, go ahead and everybody stand. So go ahead and turn around. It's a nice shot of everybody and their families. It's a wonderful day. All right, so we'll have the families go ahead and take a seat. Thank you very much. And again, Assistant Chief Dave Schertzer, Captain Fred Markham, and Lieutenant Tom Metzinger, well deserved. They've done a fantastic job. And again, I couldn't be more happy. Dave, would you introduce your family?
Yeah, I'll do that. I have quite a few here tonight. So, I got my wife Sheila, my son Dawson, my daughter Raquel, her boyfriend Dean. Got my sister-in-law Jen, my nephew Hunter, my niece Harley, my mom Doris, dad Dave, my aunt Edie, my sister Kelly, my brother Brad, and I'm not sure if I'm forgetting anybody. Oh, I'm sorry. Brian back there and Mara. Debbie, that's that. And I think that's everybody. Of course, all my brothers and sisters from the firehouse are back there, kind of blended in too. So.
I brought my parents, Bob and Elena. Thank you for coming. My beautiful wife, Michelle. My oldest son, Blake. My middle son, who badged me, Clayton. And my youngest son, Alec. And then, of course, as Assistant Chief Schertzer said, the brothers and sisters in the back.
I have my lovely wife Sherry and my son Tommy, who's turning 1 next week. My parents, Tom and Vanetta Metzinger. My in-laws, Captain and Carol Jones. My brother Michael, his wife Ashley. My nephew Aaron, and my brother Christopher. And again, all the fire brothers and sisters too here.
So again, to all the families, thank you so much for being here. This means a lot to all of us. I know these guys are proud to be, and we're proud of them, and I'm sure you are as well. So again, congratulations to all 4 of you. It's well-deserved, great accomplishment, and I'm sure you'll do fantastic job. Anything else, Tim?
Well, I'll tell you what, guys, you can go and back over to your stands, and we're going to say a few words. I am so proud to be here, and the Andy Frost, the way I look at it, the chief of the fire department when I was here as a trustee 20 years ago, a good friend of mine, and he does all kinds of things now, but he has started a tradition in this township. Our fire department is second to none anywhere. Bob, I got to tell you, after those years that you did that, you created the atmosphere of the hard work and the diligence that the fire department does. And they do it with a smile, because they serve the people of Austintown so very well. Gentlemen, you are selected today because of your outstanding work. Your test scores, and I'm an old teacher, I know those tests. The situation is such that you are now the leaders of what has to be carried on to the tradition of Austintown Fire Department. And we absolutely believe 100% that you will. Gentlemen?
Well, either we're turning people over real fast or I'm getting old. Because it seems like just yesterday that I remember interviewing Assistant Chief Williams for the Assistant Chief's position. And I just personally, I know I called you the day you left, but I want to just again, Bob, say thank you from the bottom of my heart. You made me proud, and I'm glad to have selected you as the Assistant Chief. You did a great job representing this township, and thank you so very much for what you've done.
Thank you.
I remember hiring Fred as a firefighter. I mean, it's like, all these guys, I mean, it's so, I feel like I'm getting old here, but, you know, I think Andy said it right, you know, the fire department's in great hands right now. You couldn't ask for a better group of guys, and just in knowing Dave, in the time I've been trustee, to know that he is now second in command of our fire department. He has the respect of the men and women of the fire department. That is the most important thing that you could do. It's not your knowledge necessarily. It's not how well you could put out a fire, but it's having the respect of the men and women that you work with so that they will follow your leadership. You can know everything you want to know, but if you don't have the respect of those individuals, they're not going to listen to you, so it doesn't mean a whole hell of beans. But Dave, you've got that respect, and that means a lot. So congratulations on your promotion. It's very well deserved. I can't wait to see what you do because I know you'll hit the ground running and sky's the limit. Fred, knowing you don't do anything small. It's always to the extreme with Fred. And that's one of the great things about Fred. Whether it's been the honor guard that he's been a part of and putting that together, running the 9/11 memorial, helping put that ceremony on, whether it's his camper up in Geneva, whatever it is with Fred, it's always to the extreme, okay? That's what Fred brings to this fire department, and that's what makes me most proud to know that you'll bring that to the men and women, that you'll demand them to go that extra step and to give that back to our residents. So congratulations. Once again, I mean, it's like just yesterday we swore you in as a firefighter, but I love it. Knowing you and getting to just see you around the station and hang out with you and talk to you, you're just a great individual, and I couldn't be happier for you to move up. And you know, it's one of the things you're going to see here in just a minute is a video, and it's all about family, and just the group of individuals we have here, and the way you guys interact as a family. You guys introduced your brothers and sisters. You're going to see that in that video, and it's good to see everybody here with their families here. So, congratulations, Lieutenant. And Ron, it's about time. Like I always wonder. I'm like, when's he going to become full time? And so here we are. So congratulations. I'm glad to be up here doing it, and I know you're going to bring good things to the fire department. So congratulations as well.
Well, you're going to have to give up some baseball time now. It's your full time now. It's funny, you say you feel old. I've had several of these guys in school. You have me in school, so you're really old.
Hey, you have me in school.
But, except Darren, maybe. But what I will say is, when Andy talked about character and leadership, this is a great group of people. And sometimes you don't like to be called a brotherhood, but you're a brotherhood and a sisterhood, so to speak. Both good all around it. The thing I love about the fire department and the police department is the camaraderie and how you interact with one another. And Dave has been a leader forever. He's always been above the board. He's always done the things that he has to do. I can't say enough good about him and his family, because whenever you need something, he's there. And Fred's the same thing, and Tom. You know, and you shouldn't talk about your camper, because but the thing I love about the fire department is, look at this room, it's togetherness. It's about working with one another, always happy no matter what the situation is, always in control. And you guys are lifesavers, and you know that. And it's so important the job you do that people don't realize every day you're dealing with someone's life in their hand. And it's very important. And I can't say enough about the leadership that we have now and the character that we have. And it started back with young Andy over there in the corner, and then old Andy here in the middle who's aging. Again, it's about integrity and character, and that's what it's about. And the four gentlemen today and all the people in this room, that's what I love best about this department, is if you need you, you're there. It doesn't matter what the condition is, what the circumstance is, you leave your families to help others. And that's hard sometimes for families, because I've been at gatherings when these Christmas Day, it doesn't matter, you're gone. And again, I thank all of you for that, for your dedication, time, and can't say enough good about the things that you do. And Ron, you're going to have to throw some baseball behind it. It'll be all right, don't worry. But thank all of you.
Laura swears she had, so she set it up. Well, I have to apologize to Andy. We talked about everybody else. We just forgot about the chief of the fire department who doesn't. We know he does an outstanding job. And by the way, are you sure that it's only 1 year old? He looks like he should have a mail around or something.
And I can't say, wow, you carried Andy for a
We work together.
Andy Senior taught you, and you had to teach him. Again, 41 years of service, Bob, and the things you've done and have seen over the years, no one can even understand. Thank you for your time and everything you've done for us.
Our chief of the internet, Jim Davis, we got together and Jim went around and found the right person to make different tapes over our different departments or was on the internet, and Jim knows his stuff about that. Jim, you want to talk about this, and we'll show it right now?
One of the things that we as a board collectively decided was that the township's website was way outdated. You couldn't find information on it. It wasn't user-friendly, and it just was not a very good representation of what this community was. So we decided we were going to create a new website for the township. With that being said, the police department, while they were amidst their levy campaign, had a video made of the police department. And we said, well, what a great idea, and how it showcased our police department, that we wanted to do that, and wanted to do that with each individual department, so that we could put that on our new website and highlight each department. And as I mentioned, we have they just completed the one literally yesterday. For the fire department. And I said, well, what better place to play it for the first time, but in a room full of firefighters and their families, so that you can see it. And so we wanted to show it to you so that you can enjoy it.
We call it screen.
I remember being a little kid, watching these trucks go by, thinking how cool it would be to do that one day, and now I get to. Being a firefighter is the greatest job for the fact that you get to leave home and come to work, but it doesn't feel like you're going to work. It feels like you're going to be with your second family, which they really are.
Moved up through the ranks and became fire chief in 2012. Pretty cool at that time. I replaced my father, who was the existing chief at that time. The Austintown Fire Department just means the world to me.
We cook for each other, we clean together, we wash the trucks together. It's all good stuff. But when those tones drop, it's even more important. You know, I know what Captain Scherzer's move is going to be before he makes it. John Reagan knows my move before I make it.
You get those, ups and downs real fast. You can be sitting here cooking dinner, having a good time with everybody, and the next thing you know, boom, you're right out on a pretty significant accident, or somebody's house is on fire or something like that.
Unfortunately, we know most of the families that we're helped to. But I think they take some comfort in that too, knowing somebody they know is coming to help.
Austintown provides a lot for the community. We not only put out fires, but we also respond to EMS calls, and we respond to a lot of accidents since we're really close to freeways.
We're able to start IVs now. We're able to give a little bit more medications. We are able to interpret the monitor, provide endotracheal intubation.
A water situation, an electrical situation, structure fires, automobile accidents, medical emergencies.
Provide a lot of jaw service because we have so many interstates.
That would be a situation where you would have a pretty significant crash. We would deploy our jaws of life. We have several different tools. We have cutters, we have spreaders, we have pedal cutters, we have rams. Deploy any of those things to as simple as popping a door to removing a whole roof.
Our main concerns when we come to work every day, what we're taught, life safety, incident stabilization, property conservation.
working in the Austintown community is great. There's so many wonderful people that I work with, and you get into being out in the field every day, you get to talk and communicate with so many different people, and they're all so receptive.
There's a lot of people that live in Austintown. It's a big township, but at the same time, it still has that small town feel.
I've been in the community since I was a little kid. My dad's been on the force since I was born. Being able to play a part in that, provide for the township that I grew up in, it's really a great feeling.
I grew up in Austintown, went to school in Austintown, and never left Austintown. So Austintown has always meant everything to me. I love the community. I love the people in this community. And I wouldn't really want to serve any other community. It's just home to me.
So we're gonna begin deducting firefighter Nick Heitzer's paycheck to correct the video, since he called him captain shirts in the video. He's now assistant chief's shirts. So we're gonna have to redo the whole thing. Now I think that's an accurate depiction of truly what it means to be a firefighter in the Austintown community, and to know that the men and women that serve this community feel that strongly about where they live and the people in it. I think that's just great. So we thought that was an accurate depiction of the job you do. So congratulations and great video.
Firefighters make Austintown a worthy place to live. So we thank you. Now let me give you some good news. We will now suspend the meeting. And if you would like, you can all leave before it's very anticlimactic after this with the next part of the meeting. So congratulations again, and go party somewhere, okay? Okay, I call this meeting back to order. We'll wait until our administrator is back. Let's go to the police department. Other than the good-looking dog, I like that. He has to talk to him in Dutch. Do you have anything else?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Bob, question for you. When training a dog, how much does it actually cost to actually train a dog?
This dog in the training, we bought the dog from the trainer, and just $15,000 for the training in the dog. I believe we maybe sent another dog. I think it was like he gave us $1,000 discount. Jason actually trains the dogs at that facility, so and about another $5,000 to equip the car. Yeah.
They are good at what they do. Okay. Chief, anything else?
No, we're dominating enough time.
Ken, you got number 2 on your police.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Very important.
Yes, a slightly important thing here. Okay, under the monthly report for April, may I have a motion to accept the monthly report?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. McGlynn?
Yes.
A motion to approve the contract with Adolph Johnson and Son Company for adding to the police building.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
Mr. McGlynn?
Yes.
We can't let that go without saying what it is.
Yes, it's an addition for the dispatch center. And first of all, I just want to thank the trustees and administrator, Laura, everybody for agreeing to do this. To me, this is a big undertaking. We looked at this for a long time. We wanted to make sure it was doing the right thing for the township. The thing with the dispatchers right now, they are sitting on top of each other. There's 4 consoles in there and a lot of radio traffic, and it's hard to hear the traffic. They're talking over each other, so it's a big safety concern. Another thing, after being over there for a long time in the position I am, I wanted to say that I thought the police officers were the most important people over there, but the dispatchers are actually the cornerstone of the police department for the foundation and that. And again, just want to thank the trustees for agreeing to do this. I think you guys it's a big undertaking, but I think it's an undertaking that definitely will benefit the township. It'll benefit the EMS, the fire department, the police department, more efficient in what they're doing. Dispatchers now have a lot more responsibility. They don't only dispatch for the police, dispatch for the fire. They're doing emergency medical dispatching. They're in the training now to start that. Also, by the end of the year, beginning next year, all the software will be updated from Mahoney County 911, so it'll be a state-of-the-art dispatch center.
The other thing, if you could tell us about it, but the state required only so many of the dispatchers areas, and we're one of those.
Yes.
So we do supply to other communities.
Yes, we dispatch for the Mahoney County Sheriff's Department. We dispatch for Jackson Township Police Department, Milton Township Police Department, Milton Township Fire Department, the Mahoney County Dog Warden, and I may have forgotten one or two.
That's very good.
If any of you have ever had a chance, Bob talks about crowded, if you go into that dispatch room, they're on top of each other. You know, you're working with big panels anyways, but they're doing a lot of calls, and they're very, very tight in there. He also has detectives, because there's no space, they're working on closets. So this move will make it a better facility for the police department and the dispatch center.
One of the things too that in expansion here will be a server room. We'll have our main server in here. We don't have a server room. We got servers up in the dispatch center taking up space. Plus we have a lot of our equipment in the back of the building in the garage. This way we'll be able to put everything into one climate-controlled room there. And also down the road in township, instead of having servers at each building, can actually, hopefully we can host a server in that IT room, server room, so, cost savings to the township too, with the technology down the road here.
Very good. Thank you. Okay, how about zoning?
I would ask the board to approve a nuisance resolution of ORC 55.87 for the following properties: 3460 Oliver Individual, High Grass; 5045 Argonne Avenue, High Grass; 104 Atlanta Avenue, High Grass; 2463 Bainbridge, High Grass; 224 Belt Avenue, High Grass. And we are probably within the next week or so going to ask the fire inspector to look at that one as a potential demolition. 3315 Black Oak Lane, High Grass; 4755, 156, 172, and 178 North Beverly Avenue, all High Grass. 879 North Canfield Niles Road. That is the defunct fueling station at the intersection of Route 46 and 76 Drive. 1292 Cavalcade Drive, junk and debris. 4179 Central Avenue, High Grass. 3971 Chaucer Lane, junk and debris. 4174 Claridge Drive, High Grass and junk and debris. 2957 Collingwood, High Grass. 251, 303, and 353 Forest Hill, High Grass. 97 South 4 Mile Run Road, High Grass. 640 North 4 Mile Run Road, High Grass. 3810 Frederick Street, High Grass. 4512 Fitzgerald Avenue, High Grass. 3833 Huntmere, High Grass. 61 Idaho Road, High Grass. 169 Idaho Road, High Grass. That's the parcel in Idaho and Elmwood. 169 Idlewood Avenue, High Grass. 48 Kenmore Court, the rear porch roof collapsed and is in need of removal, and also High Grass. 3656 Kirk Road, High Grass. 1637 Lancaster Drive, High Grass. 1782 Lancaster Drive, High Grass. 1775 Lancaster Drive, High Grass. 5529 London Drive, High Grass. 5535 London Court, High Grass. 3602 Mahoning Avenue. Overgrown weeds on the west side, and we want the silk fence removed. That's the BP at the corner of Mahoning and Meridian. I just think they forgot about the silk fence and maybe that they own that portion of the property. Let's see, 3924 Mahoning Avenue, 3928, 4386, 4930, 5416, 5202 Mahoning Avenue, high grass and junk and debris. 6073 Mahoning Avenue, high grass. 65 North Main, high grass. 93 and 97 and 169, 181 and 197. 216 North Main Street, high grass. 1515 Maple Crest Drive, you got high grass and weeds, you got a metal shed in horrible condition, and the gutters are falling off of the structure. 3641 Monaca, junk and debris stored on the front porch. 3820 Monaca, high grass. 3890 Monaca, high grass. 4580 Northwest, high grass. 5355 Northwest, high grass. 682 Notre Dame, high grass. 1310 Orkney, high grass. 4344 Pembroke, high grass. 657 Purdue, high grass. South Raccoon Road, high grass. 1741. That's the vacant lot at south of the fire station. 1741 South Raccoon Road, 2546 Redgate Lane, high grass. 3250 Redgate Lane, high grass. 43 South Roanoke, high grass. 127 and 164 Roanoke, high grass. Two parcels, vacant parcels on the signature, high grass. 4322 Timberbrook Drive, high grass. 198 North Turner Road, high grass. 300 Victoria Road, high grass. 5619 Vassar, high grass. 340 Victoria Road, high grass. 4308 Wedgewood Drive, high grass. 5148 Willow Crest, high grass and junk and debris. 4480 Whithurst Drive, high grass, and a fallen tree. And there's a lot at Woodlake and Raccoon, high grass. And there's also, I don't think it's on the list, but there's also Mr. Crano. I think I sent you a text for that tree on West Rosemont. 300 blocks of Rosemont. We're going to remove the tree.
It's on a house. It's collapsed on a house. There's a lot of people whose lawnmowers mustn't have started, but that's what happens all here. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. McGlynn?
Yes.
Mr. Crano?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes. Just for the residents out there, I think the last meeting, we had somewhere between 35 and 40. The road department is working on them as they can get to them. Obviously, the weather was not cooperating. I think we got 80 or 85 on this list, so please be patient. We have to give these property owners 7 days notice, even if the home is vacant. And, the road department will get to it as soon as they can. But the weather's not cooperating, and obviously there's a lot of property, so we ask residents to be patient. I would ask the board to approve a motion pursuant to Ohio Vice Code 505.86 for the removal, demolition of the single-family dwelling/commercial building located at 4215 Mahoning Avenue, Austintown Township, Mahoning County, Ohio 44515. Said property being further described as parcel number 48-011-0-582 Wycliffe Plat, based on the building being declared unsafe and structurally defective under Austintown Fire Code 311 by the Austintown Township Fire Inspector to protect safety and life. Just as a FYI for the board, if you remember Scooper's Ice Cream in Wycliffe, this is the house right next to it. It's been vacant. I've been back 11 years. It's been vacant the whole time I've been back. And it's just, no one's put any money into it. And every year we have the fire inspector look at that building, and he feels it's warranted now to move forward towards demolition, where the property owner is going to have to invest in it.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. McGlynn?
Yes.
Mr. Crano?
Yes.
And that's all I have for the board.
That was a long list. Okay. Park Department.
Nothing to add to the report. I just want to let the board know and the public, sometime next week, if it ever decides to stop raining, we'll be opening the splash pad. It'll be open, once we do open it, it'll be open 7 days a week from noon to 7 p.m.
Has the dirt been so saturated with water that you have ponds around the park?
We have our regular one, but yeah, since then we've added several more.
Okay, thank you. Jim, Senior Center.
Got a couple things. I did an analysis of comparing last year's first 4 months with this year's first 4 months because the place is packed with people a lot of days. And I found out that we have a 21% increase in the amount of participation of the activities in the senior center since over last year. And that's over that 4-month period. And that was mainly made up of about 7% increase in people participating in bingo, a 43% increase in the people doing exercise type classes, a 4% in craft areas, and a 68% increase in other areas. So I knew we were busy, but I didn't think we were getting baggage, so that's good to know. And the second thing is there is a health fair at the Hollywood Casino on Wednesday, and we will be participating, so we'll have a booth there. It was very well received last year. If the public by chance can get over there, there's a lot of things to see and do at that health fair. It's pretty well put on, and I encourage people to go.
Very good. Okay, let's go back to our fiscal, let's go first to our administrator and road superintendent. What's going on, Michael?
Two things. One's a little bit of good news, one's maybe a little bit more bad news. The good news is under new business under A, it's the annual OTARMA invoice. You see the price there, $101,612. That's only a 1% increase from last year. And number two, the bad news is ODOT's pricing came in for their road salt, and Mahoney County's price came in at $72.23, which last winter was $58 and some. So we're ending up with a 23% increase this year. I should say this year, the 1920 winter.
We should call Morgan Salt and get a little thing to. Okay. How about? I think we should talk about this a little bit. A long time ago, when I first came into Austintown so many years ago, our biggest problem was water. I mean, terrible. It was going into houses and so on. All of a sudden, the state, but we were one of the first ones to do it. We started doing, in those days, we called it retention ponds. Now we call it detention ponds. But a lot of those now are old, and we were having problems, but we took care of the one, the big problem.
We have two large detention ponds over there in the area of, I'll say the water tower, to the north of the water tower. The southernmost is where the water finally exits into the stream that heads in a southeast direction towards River Road. And, we got a call this year, and the guy, we went out and seen the guy there, and he says, the water isn't going down. We asked him, well, how far does it go down? He says, less than a foot. So we went and checked the outlet pipe, and sure enough, the outlet pipe, very little water was getting out of there, so we assumed it was crushed based on the kind of pipe it was, and sure enough, it was crushed. So slowly, we just dug above the pipe, letting water out until we got to the pipe, and then we were lucky last week to be able to, it had dried out a little bit so that we could get in there and put a new outlet pipe in there. So the old outlet pipe lasted about 23 years. This is a double plastic as opposed to what was in there, so hopefully this should last a lot longer. Darren and I went and looked at the pond right now, and it's just the stream that normally was before the detention pond came in.
That is a big pipe, by the way, folks. I mean, I could crawl through it. There's something that we have to remind, we do this every year at this time. Austintown has streams. lots of streams, open streams, and we have to keep them open because they are used to take care of the water that comes in like we have now. And it all heads to Meander. And it all heads to Meander Reservoir. Ladies and gentlemen, please watch your younger children. When the water gets high and that water starts pushing, it's like a river. And if they go and try to play in there, they could accidentally just suck them right in and take them out. So we ask you, please, when it's raining and everything else, keep your children away from those particular little lakes that we have. Okay. Laura, how are we fiscally here?
Oh, we're fine.
Okay.
We're fine. I just have the reports this month to submit.
All right, let's go first with the fiscal officer. Motion to accept the April report submitted to the board for review. Fund status, revenue status, and appropriation status.
So. Second.
You guys are gonna have to give signals.
Go off today.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Rubin?
Yes.
And as the administrator said, a motion to approve Otarma's invoice for $101,612 for building properties, vehicles, and liability insurance coverage for year May 16, 2019 through May 16, 2020.
So.
Second.
Mr. Rubin?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes. Okay, we're now at the public response, 2 ways, either off camera or on camera. Is there anyone here would like to? More. There's more? Where are we at? Oh, there it is, okay. I don't have that. It's not on mine, I swear. Ohio Liquor Control Division, whether to request a hearing on notice to legislative authority, transfer permit to Alexis DiGiacomo, doing business as Chubby's DS, 3661 Mahoning Avenue in Patio, Austintown Township, Austintown, Ohio, permit number 1490151, permit classes of D1, D2, D3, D3A, from Assets and Property Relief LLC, doing business as Ball Busters, DS, 3661 Mahoning Avenue in Patio. These new names are a little out of my class there. Austintown Township, permit number 03003390005, permit classes D1, D2, D3, D3A. Chief?
No objections.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
Mr. Rubin?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Okay, now we have a public response report. Anyone would like to speak off camera? No, thank you. Anyone would like to speak on camera, please? Sam?
Sam Slaughter, 4492 Ball Road. I'm just speaking on behalf of the Austintown Memorial Day Parade, May 27th. Staging will be between 9:30 and 10:30, with the parade starting promptly at 10:30, ending up in front of Fitch High School. So make sure you're out on the side of the road. No bags, no jars. There will be no candy being thrown. This is a Memorial Day parade. It's not a 4th of July parade. And we will be starting work on a 911 function also, right after this one's over, and we do need help down at the memorial. Thank you very much. God bless.
Sam, who should they call if they can help it? That's pulling weeds, all kind of other things down in the memorial.
Call me 330-509-5269 or Pat Conley at 330-718-2345.
Okay, if you didn't get that, call the township hall, they'll give them to you. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, we'll move on now to the comments by the trustees and our fiscal officer. Laura?
I don't have anything to add today.
Okay. Go ahead, Doug.
Thank you, sir. I'd just like to wish all those mothers a belated Happy Mother's Day. Everything was great except for weather, as we know. It was not quite as cooperative. I'd like to congratulate Austintown Middle School for winning the state track championship last weekend. Ohio High School Athletic Association junior high meeting. They now go to junior high as well as high school. District track is this week coming up, and next week will be regional, obviously. If you want to see some really great athletes run, you should go up and watch that. Those are on Wednesdays and Fridays. The following week would be Wednesday and Saturday, I believe. Also, prom was held last weekend at the Maronite Center. Graduation is coming up June 1st for Rich High School seniors. 10:30 in the gymnasium.
Jim?
I, as well, would just like to wish all the mothers out there a happy Mother's Day. Happy belated Mother's Day. I got to spend Mother's Day with my mom yesterday, so it was an enjoyable day. And the only other thing I have is that I was fortunate on Friday evening to attend the 100th anniversary of the United Way. They celebrated their 100th anniversary this year, and there was a black tie gala that was held at the Lake Club, put on by the United Way, and Bob Hannon and Ed Moransky really laid out the red carpet and put on one heck of an event. And it was, as Ed said, the largest philanthropic event in the history of the Mahoning Valley, where they raised near $500,000 in one evening. They actually auctioned off the last Chevy Cruze, which sold for $35,000 at that event. They auctioned off all kinds of different things, and also raised some money for a great, great cause. Now, the reason I talk about this is because there are so many events that you could take part in, whether it's the American Cancer Society, whether it is United Way, or whether it's just something simple. If there's some nonprofit organization, I would just encourage anybody that if you have the opportunity to attend an event like that or to get involved, such as helping sample weeds down at the 9/11 Memorial, it helps make a difference in the community. Hearing some of the stories that evening of how lives were changed for young kids makes you believe that when you think something may be something very simple or something small, to someone else, it is a big, big difference. So just take that opportunity if you can to be involved and make a difference.
Once again, happy Mother's Day. I always congratulate the guys for making the mothers too. So it was an interesting day yesterday. It was a lot of fun. Have you noticed, if you drove around yesterday, every restaurant in Mahoning County was packed. Unbelievable. It was good to see that. Okay, two fast things. This high grass, we're getting a lot of phone calls. Please don't be afraid to pick up the phone and call us. That's the way we do those things, or call the zoning department, and they'll go out and check it and put those particular names on the list, just to give a little bit of a spark to people to actually do their job, because unfortunately, if we have to cut your grass, it's going to cost you $500 on your taxes. Road paving is starting, and please understand the difference between state, county, and our local roads. The other is the fact that we have a limited amount of money to do as many as we can, and the roads cost a lot of money per mile. I have to thank the Austintown people for passing the safety levy, although it was probably the smallest voting I've ever seen in my life. Everybody was there. Normally when I go in there, just like the precinct, there's 124 votes. By the time I brought some food over to the township hall with 5 precincts in there, there were exactly 42 votes. People did not know that that the county, that was the only thing in the county everyone does. Youngstown and Struthers were the only ones that had other issues. But thank you for doing that. The 4th of July is coming up. Jim needs help. He's a great chairman of the board with that, and you need people to help volunteer. I assure you it doesn't cost you anything except maybe a little bit of your time, especially if you're around to help us what is it, the day before, about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, where we actually set up the plaza. So there was something interesting else in the mail that I got received and everything else. St. Joseph's Church on New Road did some interviewing of a variety of, they say, leaders in Austintown regarding the opinions of the challenges we face in our community. I really applaud that, 100%. They came out with the 3 biggest issues were Austintown's image and reputation, drug abuse, and financial challenges. They asked me, the financial challenges would be number 1. Drug abuse, we are like every other township, a situation that occurs, and we have to do it. The only thing I argue against, or I don't argue, but I say comments against, is our image. Truly, the image of Austintown, because we are now the largest township in Mahoning County. The other thing is, from the time we got the Racino here in Zola, all of a sudden people realized, companies realized that we are on the interstate, and that we are the place that it's easiest for people to get to. And thank you to our Walmarts, which is by far the biggest Walmarts in the area and so on. Our reputation, I think, we're no longer the fish farmers, I assure you that. But with this comment, what I'm trying to say is this. If there's any organizations out there, anybody who wants to talk about Austintown or need a speaker to come to talk to their organizations, we would be happy to volunteer our time to do so. If you have questions that you want one of us to answer, we'll be happy to be there. And we'll be happy to tell you what we feel is some of the strongest points of Austintown and what are the biggest problems in Austintown. So just pick up the phone and give us a call. With that, I need a motion to recess to executive session for the following: to consider the appointment, employment, discipline, and compensation of public employees, or preparing for, conducting, or reviewing negotiations or bargaining sessions for public employees.
So,
Mr. Davis?
yes.
Mr. McGlynn?
Yes.
Mr. Frano?
Yes.
In association with Austintown Local Schools and Austintown Township.